in front, Fairy? I said, is there a car in front?
Oh, Fairy. Florence was speaking to you. Oh, I'm sorry, Florence. I was watching the fireflies. What were you saying?
I said, can you see if they've left yet?
I wish I could board a cat so I could see in the dark.
I don't think I'll wait for her. I'm going to grab a book and go up to my room.
Does your jaw hurt tonight, Jeff?
Not bad.
Then stay a little longer. We'd like to have you.
Jeff, you've already invested 267 minutes in waiting. Surely you can afford an additional 10 cents for it?
All right, my statistical friend. My curiosity is good for 10 minutes more.
I wonder what she's like. Miss Willie says they're one of the wealthiest families in America. Oh, that's bad. She'll have an expensive camera she can't work, or write about an artist I've never heard of. Oh, sick. Has money spoiled me? Do you have money, Fairy? Bags.
Let's not be prejudiced about money. Some of my best friends are wealthy. Hannah, play something while we're waiting. Help distract Jeff.
Will you catch me tuned? What shall it be?
Surprise us.
How about a gypsy sardis? Oh, please don't play gypsy music, Hannah. It frightens me. Frightens you? Terrifies me. I was kidnapped by gypsies when I was a child and rescued just as they were about to dye my skin with walnut juice. Well, I was!
Go ahead, Hannah.
I hope she likes music. Maybe she plays some instrument herself. The harp. I hope she plays the harp all my life. I'm sorry, Hannah. Go ahead. I was raised on a harp. My father, like an angel.
Jeff, what are you doing?
There's a book I want on the shelf. I'm sorry, Hannah.
Fairy, get the book for Jeff so we can listen to Hannah.
Wait, I'll get a chair.
Never mind, Fairy. I can get it.
No, Jeffrey. Climbing on chairs is women's work. Men have mountains. Which book did you want?
The Lifespan of the Ape.
People give the strangest books to this library. I just couldn't get into Forbidden Tibet.
Books are in my blood. My mother invented the filing system at the New York Library. She was queen of cross index. You know what? I'll get Jeff's book, Fairy. No. Musicians shouldn't work.
Be careful, Fairy. Don't get dust in your eyes.
Wouldn't you like this book? I can reach this one.
No. This time it's got to be The Lifespan of the Ape.
Who's that with this? Lights! Turn the lights back on! Don't let me fall! Please, turn the lights back on!
Hannah, get to the switch before someone is hurt.
Looks like Miss Patty's back.
Lights!
Please, Mrs. Patty, let us keep the lights on.
Some nights you're going to turn out the lights and hurt someone, and then you'll be sorry. Oh, I do wish you'd chosen something else to give up for Lent.
It's not fair to make us suffer to get you to heaven, Mrs. Patty.
Some people like electricity.
Now you sit at your easel like a good girl and leave the lights alone.
I must say, you started us, Miss Willie. We thought you were in the front office. For the love of Pete, Fairy, what are you doing? I was just trying to get a book for Jeffrey.
With a violin bow?
I couldn't quite reach it.
I certainly didn't mean to cause all this commotion. Just forget it.
No, Jeffrey. I'll get your book. Everyone watch his own head. Timber! There you are, Jeffrey. You may take the bow, Hannah. You may take my hand, Miss Willie.
The next time anyone wants a book from the top, Fairy, call me. Why, the whole shelf might have fallen on you.
Oh, who ever heard of anyone being hurt by good books?
Enough of them, my darling, and I hate that to happen.
I hate everything in the world, but most of all, I hate cold cream, hot dogs, codfish, crawfish, catnip, sheep dip, sawdust, subway, sewer skewers, caterpillars, frictions, fractions, pins, puns, pins, policemen, and electricity.
How much longer do we have to wait, Miss Willie?
What is she like, Miss Willie?
I haven't seen her. Let's tidy the room a bit. Fairy, will you put the Portuguese board away, please?
They're taking an awfully long time in the front office.
Is she young or old, Miss Willie?
I don't know. All that I know is that her name is Savage, and she gets the blue ribbon.
I hope she isn't beautiful. Competition exhausts me.
Well, Bingo, you tied that one in a hurry.
Miss Willie, please don't call me that. It's a pet name my wife uses.
I'm sorry, I forgot.
And why do you always single me out to kiss?
You're the handsomest.
What would my wife think if she came to call and saw a strange woman kissing me? She'd explode.
She would if I know her.
Would you please try to remember?
I'll try. Forgive me.
Ting-ling-ling-ling!
Hello? Yes, Dr. Emmett. Right away. Put the dartboard up, Hannah. Let's try not to clutter the place, darlings. Let's try and make a good first impression.
Will we meet her now?
I don't know.
We haven't had anyone exciting here since that magician's wife. Remember? She was all nervous from being sawed in half so many times. What was her name?
Something hyphenated.
I don't remember. But she had color. My relations are also trim. My parents are albinos.
Really, Fairy? You shouldn't invent such things.
But they were emotional albinos.
Oh, Fairy, don't peek. It's so degrading to get on your knees.
You get on your knees to pray, don't you? I'll say a prayer. Dear God, let me see something.
See anything?
Yes, I do! God is quick.
What do you see?
Someone's coming out of Dr. Emmett's office.
Who?
1, 2, 3. 3 strange people. Wait! They're coming in here! Quick! Let's hide in the hall and eavesdrop!
Is that ethical, Jeff?
Oh, you know we said now anyhow!
We could call it espionage.
Come on, Miss Patty! We're going to spy!
I'll go guard the light switch. It's rude to let guests enter a dark room.
This is the last time I'm going to be a party to peeking, Fairy.
Oh, we mustn't get too excited, or I'll get the hiccups and betray us.
Dr. Emmett will join you in a moment.
Please tell her that if there's nothing more, we'd like to get started back.
Yes, Senator Savage. There are cigarettes and magazines on the coffee table. Please make yourself at home.
Well, Titus, what do you think of it now? Are you reassured?
Somewhat. It certainly doesn't look like an institution.
Not at all.
Mother will be content and happy here, I'm sure. It's a charming place.
I just hope we haven't made a mistake.
Darling, the only mistake we made was not taking steps sooner.
I don't like to be thought insensitive. Maybe it would have been wiser to have had her stay at home with an attendant.
That would have been disastrous.
Oh, you're hard.
Someone has to be practical.
No, you're callous. You made too many foreigners.
Samuel, darling, we've done what had to be done. Let's not quarrel about it, please.
Lilybell is right. This is civilized behavior.
I'm sorry to have delayed you. I was anxious to have Dr. Johnson question your mother.
This is quite the place we have here, Doctor. It's been our relief to have found it so cheerful.
But then we were assured that your place offered the best that money could buy.
We hope to offer the best that experience can provide.
One thing I meant to ask you, will Mother be exposed to any danger here?
Not at all. All the guests in the swing are in their final stage of treatment. They're extremely kind of cooperative. On the surface, they might seem as normal as, say, yourself, Senator.
You don't say.
While you're waiting, I'd like to ask you a few more questions about this memorial fund of your mother's.
Well, there's little more to tell. She planned on using this money to give away the entire Savage estate.
The newspapers called it her happiness fund.
Was this indifference to money something recent?
I wouldn't say so.
She's always given money away to foolish causes.
Would you mind being more specific?
Well, there was an Italian farmer who wanted a box of soil from Italy.
Just dirt.
Mother spent $200 to get it for him.
And then a flower peddler who wanted a tombstone for his horse.
And of course, he got it.
After Father died, this obsession got progressively worse. Last summer, she chartered a ship to send 1,000 schoolchildren around the world.
Why?
They said they ought to go around the world when there still is a world to go around.
We stopped her just in time as she was setting up this fund legally.
With the board of directors.
With a fantastic board of directors, not a banker, a bishop, or a lawyer among them.
Whom did she choose?
A postman, a gardener, a veterinarian, and herself.
We should have known Hermione was going the day she decided to step out on stage.
Have you ever heard of a case like that before, Doctor?
The unique is retained her. Nothing surprises us.
If she had been talented or even vain, I could have understood it.
But she wasn't. She was always quiet and shy and timid. And all of a sudden, this amazing change.
Grief did it.
But why turn to acting? Our life has enough drama in it already.
God knows.
Isn't that right, Doctor?
Judge Savage says, God knows.
And I wish you would explain this bear to us.
Obvious exhibitionism.
Exactly.
She took a childish delight being seen everywhere with that teddy bear.
Anything to indulge the sudden love for notoriety.
Her entire conduct was a travesty of dignity and self-respect.
And sound business.
Can you tell me, Senator, has there ever been a similar pattern of behavior in your mother's family?
I'm not sure.
You see, Doctor, she's not actually our mother. Father remarried when we were children.
Oh, I see.
But that's never made any difference in our feeling towards her.
Well, I'm afraid I can't judge myself until I've had time to observe her conduct here.
You're the doctor.
And we know Mother will be comfortable in such a charming place.
You know what? I wouldn't mind staying here myself.
Samuel, this is no place to laugh.
Who we encourage laughter here, Senator. We think it's healthy.
You do?
Of course, it's good therapy. For as Byron says, if I laugh at any mortal thing, 'tis that I may not be.
Of course.
Yes, Miss Willie?
I beg your pardon, Dr. Emmett, but Dr. Johnson says he will not be able to complete Mrs. Savage's file for the moment.
Why not?
He finds her a bit uncooperative.
Then bring her in here, please.
Yes, Doctor.
While you're saying goodbye, I'll have a talk with Dr. Johnson.
Oh, please don't go, Doctor.
Please, doctor.
We prefer you stayed. The quicker we make this, the better for all concerned.
She's vindictive.
For some reason, Doctor, she holds me responsible.
We'll have to give her a little bit more time for that resentment.
Could you come in here, Miss Savage?
Will you sit down, Mrs. Savage?
We ready to say goodbye to you, Mother?
I do not like Lady Lilybell. The reason why I cannot tell, but this I know full well. I do not like thee, Lilybell.
She's been chanting that over and over all the way down here.
Your children are leaving, Mrs. Savage. Wouldn't you like to say goodbye to them? They'd like to say goodbye to you.
The fireflies are out. How lovely. What makes the fireflies light up, Doctor? Are they mating?
I really couldn't say, Mrs. Savage.
Well, I thought you'd know. Isn't this a bug house?
This is the Cloisters. This is your new home. I'm Dr. Emmett.
Wouldn't it be fascinating if human beings glowed like fireflies when they were mating? Do you light up when you're mating, Lilybell? Lord knows you're flighty.
We might as well go, Titus. She's going to be unpleasant again.
Surely, Mother, you wouldn't allow us to depart in an atmosphere of such bitterness.
50 needles and 50 pins and 50 dirty Republicans.
Yep, she's definitely determined to take the wrong attitude.
It's futile.
Well, only time will tell. Come, Samuel, let's go.
I'll send more of your clothes down later, Doctor. We couldn't pack but one grip under the circumstance.
Well, Sunday is Visitor's Day, if you care to bring them down then.
My sister will be returning to Paris next week, but I'm sure we can make arrangements.
If there's anything you need, Mrs. Savage, Miss Wilhelmina will take care of you.
We have a lovely garden out there. You'll be able to see it in the morning light. You know, when I was a kid, we always had 30 needles and 30 pins. Why you've added 20 more dirty Republicans?
It's a fault of my own. Exaggeration. It's stupid of me to irritate them now. I only irritate myself. Well, I guess it must be exasperating now to be funny later.
I noticed one of the bears' eyes is gone. I'll check for it in the front lobby as soon as they go.
Oh, don't bother. It fell out last fall at the opera. I would have found it if the usher hadn't been so nasty about me lighting matches during the Magic Fire music. Do you know what this is?
Suppose you tell me.
Well, it's a teddy bear. Surely you've seen one.
Not that big.
Would you like to know what I do with it?
And I couldn't quite guess.
I sleep with it.
Do you?
I do. And are you going to talk to me as if I were an imbecile too?
Here, we mustn't be hostile.
You're right, you haven't harmed me. Would you care to know why I sleep with it?
If you care to tell me.
I don't, and I will. I get lonely. I'm too old to have a lover, but too fastidious to sleep with a cat.
Then by all means, you must take it up to your room with you here. Did you bring a suitcase?
My daughter did.
Do you mind taking off your hat?
Well, if I'm going to spend the rest of my life here, I might as well.
It's a mighty saucy hat.
A 10-cent piece of felt and many chicken feathers, $85. Why economy should be so expensive, I don't know.
It takes imagination.
And the blood of pirates. But I wanted it. I wanted a hat like this since I was 16 years old. All the good it does me now. Maybe you can use it for something. For what? Who knows?
Oh, I think you should keep it. You might need it.
My hair looks like the ragged end of a coconut.
Oh, I don't think so. It's a heavenly color.
Well, you should have seen it last year. It was bright red. Then to be different, I got it black with a white streak in the middle. I looked nothing as much as a skunk. Then I gave up and dyed it blue. It goes with everything.
Well, it'll certainly go with your room. Wouldn't you like to go up and get settled?
Is it time to lock me up?
Oh, I wouldn't dream of locking you up. Did you bring a suitcase?
I did. My daughter didn't consult me.
Well, I'll get it and take it up to your room. You'll have time to explore your surroundings tomorrow. You can stay here.
Alone?
Of course.
No handcuffs?
We have an honor system.
Honor system indeed.
Hello!
Miss Billy says the bars are only there to keep the world outside.
Corny, isn't it? Oh! Ah! It's alive!
Now, Fairy, you must stop frightening yourself.
It's quite harmless.
It won't bite?
It won't shed, lay eggs, or bark. And to the best of my knowledge, it's unvexed by sex. It couldn't be less trouble.
Oh, then, in that case, any friend of yours is a friend of mine.
Perhaps we should introduce ourselves. You must be Mrs. Savage. I'm Florence Williams.
How do you do?
We've been expecting you all afternoon. We're so glad to have you with us. May I introduce Fairy May?
Say you love me!
But we've just met.
You don't have to mean it. I just love it when people tell me that they love me.
Well, I suppose everyone loves you.
You see, I told you she wouldn't be spoiled. Welcome to the cloisters. Climate best by government test.
Thank you.
And this is Hannah. And this is our Mrs. Patty.
How do you do?
I hate everything in the world, but most of all, I hate lightning, skunk, cabbage, custard, mustard, sliders, blisters, girdles, mice, bees, peas, rabbit, chloroform, rhubarb, barnacles, bats, broken glass, ills, drums, crumbs, tombstone, salt, and thunder.
Well, why don't you like rhubarb?
Mrs. Patty is Mrs. Savage.
She only recites the things she hates.
Sweet but stubborn.
Mrs. Patty stopped talking about 20 years ago.
But why?
She got mad.
Her husband told her to shut up.
And she did.
She gave up conversation for life.
But she's only giving up electricity for Lent.
You're a woman of wisdom, Mrs. Patty. There's only one thing wiser than saying very little, and that's saying nothing at all. Would you like to hold it?
Aw, she likes you.
I like her.
Oh, you haven't met Jeff. Come here, Jeff.
Please excuse my left hand.
Certainly. Is it a toothache?
Jeff's face is scarred and he likes to spare people.
Well, you don't need to spare me. I have to look at myself every morning.
Dr. Emmett refuses to let me wear a bandage.
Well, we have to humor our doctors once in a while.
And now you've met everyone. We're a small group in this swing, and we hope you find us comfortable to be with. She hasn't met everyone yet. She hasn't met the Holy Terror.
Of course. How stupid of me.
Where is he, Florence?
Well, he was here a few moments ago. John Thomas!
He might have gone out into the hall.
I'll see. John Thomas!
You won't hurt her, will you?
Gracious, why would I?
You won't object, will you?
Well, what is John Thomas? Our son, Richard Ink. Here?
Oh, yes, he was born here.
I can't find... Oh, look. Asleep on the floor. My husband warned me I'd be a bad mother. Mrs. Savage, this is my son.
You like children, don't you?
Everyone's but my own. How old is he?
5.
He's big for 5 months.
No, 5 years.
I meant years.
Will you excuse me? I have to put him to bed. He has measles. I do hope you won't catch them. Excuse me.
That was exceedingly kind of you, Mrs. Savage, not to notice anything wrong.
Poor Florence isn't well, and we pretend for her sake. We hope you will too.
Oh, I will.
I think you should understand right away, Mrs. Savage, that except for Florence, the rest of us here are free to leave whenever we want to.
But we don't, because there's no better place for us to go.
You're a very lucky woman to be accepted here, if I do say so myself. And I do.
Oh, do be quiet.
Tyrant!
What is that?
That rude noise is the signal for us to go to our rooms.
It's the evil of the machine age. Perfect pistons and no manners.
Well, ours not the reason why. I wonder why no one ever quotes that first line. It's someone blundered.
Good night.
What? We never say that. It means there's no more.
No more of what?
Oh, there's no more of so much. Don't let Jeff's manners disturb you. During the war, his plane was shot down in flames, and he hasn't quite recovered yet.
Was his face badly burned?
Oh, not at all. Jeff bailed out, but he was the only one. He lost his crew. His scar goes deeper than we can see.
Surely by now you guessed that Hen and I are the only guests here free to leave. Miss Patty, I didn't see you there. I didn't mean you anyhow. Would you excuse me? I have to go apologize or she'll sulk.
Fairy has the gift of the good for saying the wrong thing.
I should think it would take quite a bit of doing to apologize to someone who doesn't talk but sulks anyhow.
Oh, you'll get used to Mrs. Patty. Just treat her like a clock. Look at her to see how the day goes, but don't expect an answer in return. She's happy at her easel.
Is she an artist?
I don't know whether she's an artist or not, but she paints portraits, seascapes, which is rather odd because she's never seen the ocean. By the way, I meant to remind you, do not sleep here. None of us sleeps here.
Well, where do you sleep?
We don't. Oh, we go to our rooms. We've all agreed to that principle, but we never close our eyes. When you go to sleep, today ends, and when today ends, tomorrow begins. Today, we're safe. Tomorrow may be filled with disaster. You won't catch us sleeping. Could anything be simpler?
Not much.
Today's the only certainty.
Hannah, didn't I hear the buzzer ring? Why aren't you in your room?
I am a spirit, and everyone says it's the spirit that counts. Remember, fight the night.
Did they all come in to meet you?
Well, there was a Mrs. Patty and 4 others who have no business being here at their age.
I quite agree.
Do you think I belong here?
We are kept very busy here, Miss Savage. We're too understaffed to develop opinions.
Well, I'd like to know what they told you about me.
Was there anything to tell?
Did they mention my memorial fund?
Not for me.
Well, then they must have said that my husband's death affected my reason.
Well, that would be understandable.
But untrue.
Why? Weren't you happy with your husband?
I married Jonathan when I was 16. I loved him from the day I met him. Do you know what that meant?
I think so.
Well, you don't. It meant that my one aim in life was to make him happy, to want what he wanted, to anticipate what would please him. And that meant that all other things had to be forgotten.
But surely you had no regrets.
Oh, none while he was alive, but when he was gone, I realized all the foolish things I'd always wanted.
And what were the foolish things you'd always wanted to do?
Things that would have shocked poor Jonathan.
Such as dyeing your hair blue?
That, and studying French and ballet lessons and people. As a young girl, I'd always wanted to be an actress. And with time running out and little responsibility, I decided to be one.
But don't you think you waited too late, Miss Savage?
Having been a fool in my youth, no one would have noticed the difference in my old age.
Oh, I'd never say you're old, Miss Savage.
Well, having kicked over the traces myself and realizing the importance of unimportant things, I decided to help other people get the foolish things they'd always wanted.
And how are you going to do that?
Through the Jonathan Savage Memorial Fund, a foundation giving away money in memory of my husband. And that insane idea is what has brought me here.
Well, hopefully you won't find it too unpleasant here. Wouldn't you like to go up and get settled?
Well, at least there's one thing I learned from my French lessons.
Which is?
What I am. A mort canard.
What's that?
Dead duck, I think.
But surely it's not as bad as that.
Yes, it is. One day you'll realize a great injustice has been done to me, and that I was always quite sane. But here I am, and the will intend to keep me, with my few foolish years taken from me. If people would walk around the edge of the carpet once in a while, it would save out wearing in the middle.
Beautiful, beautiful. What would we do without you, Hannah? You bring melody to the morning.
You could be in the concert field, Hannah, if you worked at it.
Oh, you're so right, Jeff. Golden fingertips. I simply surrender to it. I'm a rat.
Do Come in, Mrs. Savage.
I trust you had a pleasant sleepless night?
Lovely, thank you. Not a wink.
You just missed Hannah's recital.
Oh, I didn't miss it. It's what brought me out of my room.
You wouldn't believe it, Mrs. Savage, but Hannah never touched a violin until last year.
Well, what makes you think I wouldn't believe it? Was it something you composed yourself, Hannah?
Bach, with variations of my own.
Mathematics loss was certainly our game.
No, I don't quite follow that, Fairy.
Barry knows that I used to be a statistician.
Thank you. Now I'm straight.
Give her a fraction to multiply.
Well, I'm afraid I wouldn't know if she was right or not.
My last position was with the government charting trends. I was keeping my finger on the pulse of the public and my ear to the ground.
A rather vulnerable position, I would assume.
Very. I was fired and replaced by an electronic calculator.
I should think you'd hate electricity too.
No, but I did want to make money using my brain, so I spent the past 2 years trying to think of something that could be made for a dime, sold for $1, and just have it for me. I'm afraid my education was wasted.
I'm going to send John Thomas to Princeton. Their boys aren't very bright, but they're such gentlemen.
Oh, that reminds me, Miss Savage. May we ask you a personal question?
They're the only kind worth asking, my dear.
A little bird told us that you used to be an actress. We're bursting with curiosity. Is it true?
Oh, that. Well, I guess if you consider being on a stage making you an actress, then I guess it's true.
Miss Willie, she's the little bird Florence is talking about, told us that you've been on the New York stage.
I wonder if we've ever seen you in anything, Mrs. Savage.
Not unless you were quick. I was only in 2 plays. The first was Macbeth.
Oh, I adore Macbeth. All that play. I sent a pint of my blood to the Red Cross once. They sent it back.
I should think you would have been an awful departure as Lady Macbeth.
I couldn't agree with you more, but they cast me as a witch.
Oh, you're the perfect witch!
Well, thank you.
Please speak some witch talk for us.
Oh, I didn't have any lines. It would have cost double.
Why did it cost you anything?
Well, I backed the show. If I hadn't put up the money, I couldn't have even played the mute witch.
Was it expensive?
Extremely, but worth it.
What a pity. Weren't you discouraged?
Bitterly. But man by nature is optimistic. If he weren't, he'd eat his young. So I decided to write a play and star myself.
You wrote a play?
Indeed, I did.
What was it about?
A woman who murdered a man and was defended by a young woman lawyer who turned out to be her own daughter. I had red hair and died in my daughter's arms every night and 2 matinees a week. And just as the curtain fell, the jury read, "Not guilty." Oh, I've never had a better time in my life.
I gather the notices were good that time.
They were sincere, but it didn't make any difference.
What did they say?
Well, the Times said we set the theater back 50 years, which isn't possible because I stole the plot from Madam X, which is only 40 years old.
What did you think they know?
Oh, but Wall Street said we brought something new to the theater.
Money?
Oh, Fairy, really? Money isn't new.
What did Wall Street say?
They said we had a tenacious mediocrity, unhampered by taste.
But that wasn't good.
But it was perfect. Our ad said tenacious and unhampered.
And you ran a year?
We wouldn't be running yet if my daughter hadn't come home and stopped me. Well, I know it wasn't very good, and the audiences only came to laugh at me, but we both had a good time. What more can you ask for? Well, my time is coming.
I don't think that was very nice of your daughter. No! No, Miss Savage! No, Miss Savage! Don't do it! Don't do it, Miss Savage!
What is wrong, Fairy?
She's going to read the newspaper! Oh!
What's the matter?
I'm going to do the firing, Mrs. Savage.
Please give it to me. Please, Mrs.
You
Savage.
mustn't read it.
No, I already know what the papers are going to say. You can't keep it from me. I've just been waiting for it to happen.
Waiting for what to happen, Mrs. Savage?
Well, what it says in the paper.
But we don't know what it says in the paper.
Then why are you trying to keep me from reading it? We have an agreement.
We never read the papers until they're a month old.
We find we're much happier when we wait.
Wait for what?
Well, naturally, we wait for... Hannah, what do we wait for?
Perspective.
Peace of mind.
Security.
We believe that it's better to read about unpleasant things a month after they've happened.
It's much more reassuring when it's over and you know nothing can be done about it.
My dear people, there's something important in this paper that I want to know about now, not next month.
We're only trying to help you. That's
very kind, but I've made my bed, and I want to know who's in it.
We can't prevent Mrs. Savage from reading the paper if she insists. We don't know her well enough to be rude.
Florence is right.
Well, if you read anything unpleasant, don't tell us.
No! If there's trouble in the world, it won't help us to know about it.
Well, this is yesterday's paper. I want today's paper.
Oh, it isn't here yet.
Well, when does it come?
I don't know.
Is there a radio in here? Maybe I can catch the news.
Yes, it's right over there.
Why didn't you say there was a radio in here?
You didn't ask us.
Well, it isn't lighting up. Is there something wrong with it?
It has many tubes.
It has many what?
Tubes. Mrs. Patty steals them. She hates electricity. You know.
We have no idea where she hides them.
But why didn't you tell me there weren't any tubes?
You didn't ask us.
Dear, how high is that wall?
Much too high.
Easily 10 chairs high.
And I suppose no one leaves that great gate open?
Don't look beyond the garden, Mrs. Savage. There may be a better place somewhere. If you give this up to search for it, you may not find it and lose what you have.
You'll like it here after a while.
Except in January. The rooms get a little cold in January.
We like you already.
It isn't that I don't find you enchanting, but you...
But we want.
Please don't say anything mean. Oh, do it still.
We have to go, Mrs. Savage.
But where?
It's garden hour.
We each have a little plot and we plant things. You can plant anything you wish, vegetables or flowers.
Last year, I planted birdseed just to see what would come up.
What did come up, Fairy?
Nothing. But it was a rich horticultural experience.
At Christmas, there's lights on this beautiful evergreen in the center saying, "Merry Christmas, keep out."
Come with us, Mrs. Savage. I'll show you my delphiniums.
No, you please go without me. I have some serious thinking to do. I'll just stay here.
But the buzzer buzzed. One has to obey orders.
May I ask what you're doing, Mrs. Savage?
I believe in wearing out the carpet evenly.
Oh, how prudent! I'm going to join you.
But don't you have to garden?
This is more constructive.
I'll help too. We must all do our share.
Come, many feet make the light work.
But I didn't mean to start a procession.
Why not? It's a refreshing change. Most women lead me in circles.
But I feel like the Pied Piper.
Do you know what we're doing, Miss Willie?
Wearing out the carpet evenly.
Oh, someone told you.
But didn't I hear the buzzer ring garden hour?
I didn't hear it. I think it's broken.
Barry, aren't you ashamed?
Oh, I wish I died in my cradle.
Oh, Mrs. Fuller, this is my fault.
I didn't like gardening anyhow.
But Florence, if you don't water your flowers, they'll die. Do you want them to die, Florence?
I don't want anything to die.
Oh, poor Florence. Did you notice she catches flies when she puts them out the window? Flies adore her.
I think we'd all better go out to the garden. Barry, share your seats with Mrs. Savage. Run along, run along. Aren't you going out to the garden?
Well, I wanted to speak to you. Alone.
Okay, what can I do for you?
A great deal. And I believe I can do a great deal for you.
Are you about to offer me a bribe, Miss Savage?
Well, how did you know?
Everyone does, at first.
But mine's a little different. I have the money. I'll offer you $20,000 to keep that gate open tonight. $30,000.
But don't you like us here, Miss Savage?
That is the most irritating answer to a sound business deal. $40,000. You can be free of this place.
But I don't want to be free of it.
$50,000. You can travel the world, see Cairo, Mandalay, South Pacific.
But I've already been to Cairo, seen Mandalay, and the South Pacific.
You have?
I served 4 years as an army nurse.
But still, you could use $50,000 for something.
But where are you going to get $50,000? That's a fortune.
That doesn't matter. And in the current idiom, 50,000 is peanuts.
Oh, I believe you can get it. But why would you want to do that?
Well, you leave me no choice. I'll just have to burn the place down.
Oh, no, you wouldn't.
Oh, yes, I would.
There would be too many innocent people here that wouldn't be able to get out if you did. You think of them first.
If you think I belong here, why are you appealing to my reason?
I'm not. I'm appealing to your emotions.
Well, I'm going to get out quick enough. It just would have been cheaper bribing you. Now it'll cost me a couple of million at least.
Good morning, Doctor.
Good morning. Is Mrs. Savage downstairs?
She just this minute went out to the garden.
What's her state of mind this morning?
Oh, the usual pattern. She's already tried to offer me a bribe.
How much did she offer you?
The highest yet, $50,000.
Did she sound confident?
Definitely manic. She still seems to think that she's in charge of her own business affairs.
Apparently she is. Read this. Just been talking to her children. They're practically out of their minds themselves. The senator is leaving Washington at once. He'll pick up his sister in New York and the judge in Boston and be here by tonight.
This is the most amazing thing I've ever read. When did they discover it?
This morning, I gather, he asked me to confine her to her room.
I don't understand. How could she get away with so much money?
Apparently her husband left the estate to her. She's been secretly selling out control ever since.
What do you think she could have done with it?
As her son says, God knows.
$10 million. That's a typographical error, isn't it?
No, they have it all right.
What do you think she could have done with it?
Like I said, as her son says, God knows.
Do you think she could have spent it?
I doubt it. Will you call her, please? I better tell her what to expect.
Yes. Oh, Mrs. Savage, could you come in here for a moment? Dr. Emma would like to speak to you. Are you going to place her in seclusion?
Of course not. Sometimes I wish there's a way of placing relations in seclusion. They're always so much more work than the patients.
Do you think that she knows what she did with the money?
No.
From what I've heard that, though her son's track record in Congress could give any good psychiatrist a nasty turn.
It certainly would, and the sensationalism of her daughter's 6 divorces doesn't speak too well for her emotional stability either.
Did you want me, Doctor?
Yes, good morning. Miss Willie, will you help Miriam out on the switchboard? She's been deluged with the calls from newspapers all morning.
Yes, Doctor.
Will you sit down, Mrs. Savage?
I think I know what you're going to tell me.
Do you?
I see you have the morning paper. I wonder how long it would take them to find out.
Then you're aware of what you've done and the consequences?
Oh, it's too early for consequences. May I see it?
We can expect your children by tonight.
Indeed we can. Well, I'm not going anywhere.
How could you possibly spend $10 million without anyone knowing about it?
Well, who said I spent it?
The paper said you did.
Well, what do they know? I couldn't have spent it. I hid it.
You hid it?
In neat little negotiable bonds that can't be traced.
But why?
I don't ask you what you do with your money, Doctor.
I'm sorry this has happened to you, Mrs. Savage, but I'm afraid your hidden treasure is going to prove a great disadvantage to you.
That's because you're a doctor. Doctors never know the value of money.
Mrs. Savage, would you like to know how long it would take me to earn $10 million?
Oh, excuse me. I just came to get my violin. Fairy May said she wanted to listen to music while she planted her seeds.
Hannah, you're a statistician. How long would it take for the average doctor to earn $10 million?
Well, he'd have to talk more crisis ward work all the way up to the burning of Rome to the burning of St. John and Savonarola, with time out, of course, for the Northern Conquest, the Crusades, 100 Years' War, 30 Years' War, and the 7 Years' War. So we'd have to work double time until the discovery of America up to penicillin and bubblegum. But that's without deducting federal tax, state tax, city tax, school tax, luxury tax, amusement tax. You'd add 100 years for that.
Thank you, Hannah. That's a great deal to be responsible for, Mrs. Savage.
Now what's the doctor up to?
A bit of emotional blackmail, I suspect. Would you care to look at me as if I'm worth $10 million, Hannah?
Never. The human body has only about 20 cents worth of calcium, 5 cents worth of iodine, 20 cents worth of phosphorus, and even at present high prices, nobody's worth over $1.50.
So you only value me at $1.50?
Never. You said your worth. Your value is inestimable.
I like you, Hannah. You make me feel important. You make me feel like dancing.
Splendid. What shall I play?
Anything.
I'm very good at flying with the bumblebee.
Could anything be more appropriate? The bees come home to find the honey's gone. Someone's going to get stung. Play, Hannah. What's the matter, Fairy?
Nothing. It's just that no one has told me that they love me this livelong day.
Why, yes they have.
No, they haven't. I've been waiting.
Why, Florence said it at the dinner table.
Did she?
Did I?
She said, don't eat too fast, Fairy.
Was that saying that she loves me?
Well, of course. People say it when they say, take an umbrella, it's raining, or hurry back, or watch out, you'll break your neck. There are hundreds of ways of saying it. You just have to listen.
My dentist said I had a perfect occlusion. Do you think he was telling me that he loves me?
Well, what else? The first day I met my husband, I was riding horseback, and he said I had a good seat. I knew immediately he loved me.
Oh, thank you! I've been missing so much!
Now, is there anything else you'd like me to clear up for you, Fairy?
No, thank you. I'm sorry I disturbed you. Oh, my dentist loves me!
Mrs. Savage,
Yes.
I'm keeping score and they won't help me. What's 7, 5, and 4?
49.
But Mrs. Savage,
It's my own system, Hannah. I refuse to submit to the tyranny of mathematics.
Then I win.
I'll keep score after this.
Miss Savage,
Yes, Fairy.
may I interrupt you again?
Of course.
Why is it suddenly Sunday again? When it was Sunday only yesterday.
Why do you think it's Sunday, Fairy?
Because if your children are coming to visit you, then it must be Sunday. Because that's Visitor's Day.
It's not Sunday, Fairy. My birds are coming back because they couldn't wait a week.
Shouldn't that make you happy?
It should, but it doesn't.
Do you not like them?
Not at all.
Oh, I think that's a wicked thing to say.
But we must be wicked once in a while to keep God's attention. But if it consoles you, Florence, they aren't mine. My husband was left with 3 small children.
But you must have liked them when they were little.
Well, I wanted to make them my own, but they always resented me. By the first time I put my arms around Lily Bell, she bit me. And she bit me every day until she was 10.
That must have made you very high-strung.
I wonder what stopped her at the exact age of 10. I suppose at 10, the girl starts to consider her teeth.
But the boys are always so much better.
Not always. They were spoiled by money. Why, any time I tried correcting them, they would break something I treasured to get back at me. It was a good day when they went off to school.
Well, school must have taught them something.
Yes, French. Whenever they came home, they spoke nothing but French, and I never understood them. And I haven't understood them since.
But you must be proud of them now. The senator is quite famous, isn't he?
That he is. I've heard he gets more threatening telegrams than any other man in Congress. In fact, I believe the Western Union lists him as a tangible asset.
Oh, if he's so unpopular, why do the voters keep sending him back to Washington?
They're no fools. It's the only way to keep him out of the state.
The other son's a judge, isn't he?
That's a distinction.
He's made it one. He has the distinction of having had more of his decisions reversed than any other man in jurisprudence.
Is your daughter pretty, Miss Savage?
Well, there's a picture of her in the paper. I'll show you and you can judge for yourself.
Oh, don't read us anything out of the paper, please.
I won't. I'll just show you a picture.
We don't look at pictures either.
People are always pinned under trucks.
I'll peek first, just to make sure it isn't horrible.
Well, even I wouldn't say it's horrible.
Ow! She's wearing a crown! She's a queen!
Oh, a queen?
That's a tiara, Fairy. She had it back when she was married to her Slovak prince.
Let's take a quick look, Hannah, just to be polite.
So she's a princess.
No, she discarded the prince a good 6 husbands ago.
Oh. But why?
Hell has no music like a woman playing second fiddle.
But she kept the tiara.
Indeed she did. I suppose she sleeps in it.
I don't know when I've seen a prettier tiara.
The dress is cut rather low, isn't it?
I don't like her. Let's do something mean to her.
Why, Fairy?
Oh, I don't mean really mean. I just mean something like pin her picture to the dartboard and throw darts at it.
Fairy!
My sweet child, that's exactly what we'll do.
Oh, you wouldn't.
I need the exercise.
Fairy, you're an evil girl to think up such a thing.
Don't you talk to me like that. I'm sensitive.
Leave her alone. I'm the culprit. Now, what can I pin this up with?
Miss Patty has some thumbtacks.
Oh, Fairy, I'm so disappointed in you.
Oh, I wish I were dead.
Why, Mrs. Patty, that's the loveliest seascape I've ever seen. You know, I could actually smell the ocean. I think your genius lies in your simplicity. You challenge the imagination. Do you have any thumbtacks? Thank you.
It's setting a very bad example for motherhood.
Don't you like surprises?
Yes.
Well, I want to surprise Lily Bell. Now, I'll tee off. Target for tonight, right in the tiara.
Something dreadful is going to happen. I know.
Everyone should be upstairs studying. Miss Savage's visitors with you.
Can I stay, Miss Willie? I'm never meeting the strangers anymore.
I'm sorry, Fairy, but the senator has insisted on privacy. Hurry now, everyone up the stairs.
Someday, when I'm blurred out, I'm going to go without saying a word. I have as much pride as everyone else. Ah!
All the way up the stairs now.
How's the weather up there?
Stormy. Here are your visitors, Miss Savage. That'll be all. You can wait outside. I'll leave the latch off and wait at the hall desk.
I don't know what to say to you, Mother. For the life of me, I don't know what to say.
Polite people say good evening.
Deception is so unlike you.
I'm not angry at you, Mother. I'm just hurt.
Have you the faintest idea of the enormity of what you've just done? You sold control of 15 Savage Industries.
We'll have to sell our stock in Savage Brass to buy it back.
Well, didn't you find out? I sold that first.
I mustn't get excited. I mustn't get excited. I get lines.
What else did you dispose of?
Everything in my name.
We're ruined.
Where's the money? You couldn't have spent it.
What did you do with it, dear?
I converted it into neat little negotiable bonds and buried them.
When you mean buried, you just mean hidden, right?
I mean buried, as in funeral.
In the ground?
Oh, I feel physically ill.
Where did you bury them?
I forgot.
Lord, please grant my mother one moment of clarity.
Where did you bury it? Concentrate!
Best thing in the world for getting rid of those lines. Now we must do something about getting you a new eye. Do you know a place that sells better eyes, Lily Bell?
Give me that stupid thing and answer us!
Miss Willie, help!
Lilybell, stop. You're just antagonizing her. We'll get nowhere, shall we?
I'm sorry, Mother. Hold your bear. We forget you're sick.
Look, Mother, what we must make to understand is that it's not the money involved that what concerns us. As so much just the disgrace of it all.
Ow!
What just happened?
She bit me!
Lilybell, of all things Mother would do, she would never descend to biting.
It was a wasp.
If ever there was a wasp, it's the woman we call Mother. I know when I'm bitten. Teeth marks.
There's no need to raise your voice.
Does it hurt?
Of course it hurts!
We'll get nowhere fighting amongst ourselves. Now stop it. Can't afford it.
You can't afford anything.
I simply refuse to be angry with you, Mother. Now, Lilybell, apologize.
I will not.
Lilybell.
Mother, it's quite all right. I don't object to you biting me. Gnaw and mangle me to the bone. Gum me to your heart's content. Just tell us, what did you do with our money?
I can't think. I haven't a brain in my head anyhow. You've said so time and again.
Not me.
With all the shouting, you got me such a state, I can't remember anything.
What do you mean you can't remember a thing?
I can't. My head is pounding.
We better be careful, Titus.
Can we get you something?
The only thing that helps are those powders I used to take.
Well, where are they?
I'm out of them.
Well, we'll go get more.
Would you?
You know I will.
Here's a note from my druggist in Boston.
You mean drive all the way back to Boston?
Oh, where is everyone?
Are you ill?
Titus, this is dangerous. We better get those powders and come back in the morning. We won't accomplish anything tonight.
I agree with you. Now, go get the prescription filled.
Samuel, get it filled. When we get back, we go right to bed.
Are you going to be prepared to tell us what you've done with the money in the morning?
Pound, pound, pound.
I'll tell the chauffeur that we're ready.
What got into him? Well, we better go, Willie Bell. We'll be back first thing in the morning, okay?
Pound, pound, pound.
Come, I'll have Dr. Emmett give her a sedative.
Lily Bell. What do you mean by psst?
I have something important to tell you about the bonds.
Well,
I want to tell you, and you alone, where I hid them.
why me?
Titus and Samuel are fools. If something happened to me overnight, the bonds would be lost.
It was Titus who wanted you here, not I. Where did you hide them?
Where would you hide $10 million if you didn't trust the banks?
I don't know.
Under a rock.
Of course not.
Under your mattress? Well, of course, you're never far from your mattress. But if you were, and the house burned down,
Are you going to tell me or not?
have you ever been to the Museum of Natural History?
No.
Very educational and fireproof.
Mother, please.
Do you know what's on the third floor of the museum?
How could I?
The Department of Ichthyology.
What are you talking about?
Fish. In the last room on the third floor, hanging from 2 wires, is a big, dusty porpoise.
And?
I stuffed my bonds in that stuffed porpoise when no one was looking.
I don't believe you.
There's only one way to find out.
You must think me very gullible. I have no intentions of hunting inside a stuffed fish.
Are we to hold the car for you all night, Lily Bell? Samuel's busy honking.
Let him honk.
Dr. Emmett will be with you in a few moments.
Titus,
Yes, Mother?
kiss me goodbye.
You just bit Lily Bell. There's no way to give you a kiss goodnight.
That's ironic, because I was just about to tell you where the bonds are.
Surely, Mother, you know it wasn't I who wanted you here. I was listening to Lily Bell.
Will you get me out of here and let me alone?
No, I will.
Then I'll tell you. The bonds are hidden in a tin box.
Where?
Do you remember when I went to Washington, D.C. with that group from Actors Equity?
No.
Well, I do. It was National Echo Week. We had lunch with the First Lady. There was Ethel Merman, Ethel Barrymore, Ethel Waters, Ethel...
What are you talking about?
The bonds are buried in the president's hothouse.
I don't believe you.
You didn't believe Pearl Harbor until you investigated.
Why would you choose such a public place? Everyone going in and out?
I'm not very bright, am I?
I'm the only man who can't get into the White House.
You should agree with him oftener.
How do I know you didn't just imagine this?
There's only one way to find out. Dig.
There's no way I'm digging in the White House.
In the corner, under the petunias.
Titus, unless you hurry, Samuel will go off without us.
I'm coming. I'm coming. Mother, I refuse to believe you.
We listened. We're horrible. We're quite ashamed. We all wish we were dead.
We wanted to stop listening and sneak away, but we couldn't without making too much noise.
It's quite all right. You would have found out anyway if you would have read the paper.
Did you really hide all that money?
I did indeed. For my memorial fund.
And now you're giving it back?
You're very generous for your size and weight.
But you didn't give the judge his share.
The prescription note was actually telling you to dig under the chimney.
Why did you hide it if you were going to tell them where it was?
I may be a fool, but I'm not that foolish. Whatever's under the chimney or under the petunias or in that stuffed porpoise, it is not my little bundle of bonds.
Then why did you say it was?
I wanted to see to what extent they'd make fools of themselves.
Well, how do you know they'll believe you?
Because they want to believe me.
They might consider it degrading to go out digging.
But they'll dig.
How can you be sure?
There are a million things a man will do for $5, but there are 5 things a man won't do for $1 million. They'll dig. Oh, you startled me.
Oh, I didn't realize anyone was in here.
I didn't know you could play the piano.
Well, I only play when I'm alone.
Well, you shouldn't be so shy. No one's going to judge you as if you're a professional.
Oh, but I am a professional.
Oh,
I debuted with the town hall a week before the war. Jeffrey Meredith. See,
Why, it says you were brilliant. I should have known. I'm sorry.
it's okay. I was actually going to appear with the Philharmonic. I didn't, but I have the contract to prove that I might have.
But you never played. Oh, please go on. I'd love to hear.
No. I don't like to be stared at.
I'll look the other way and listen.
No, I'd rather not. I'm not ready to face people yet. Please don't insist.
Wouldn't dream of it.
Thank you. Can you keep a secret?
About 10 minutes.
Dr. Emmett isn't really a doctor at all.
Well, what is she?
A patient, like Mrs. Patty.
What makes you think that?
For 5 years now, she's promised that she would fix my face.
No, Jeff, she's a doctor. It says so on our office door.
Well, do you believe a person is what they claim to be?
Well, I think I'm a trusting soul. I've tried to think the best of people.
It's best to believe the worst. If you believe the worst, then the worst is only half bad at best, and the best is no worse than expected. So, it's best to believe the worst.
That's almost obscure enough to be profound. What does it mean?
Well, it's simple. If a man claims to be wise, then you think he's a fool. But if he claims to be a fool, you believe him.
Well, only a fool claims to be wise.
Exactly. That proves my point. Dr. Emmett claims to be a doctor. The war was over 5 years ago, and where's her miracle?
Some things take time to heal, Jeff.
I can't wait much longer. I'm getting old. I'll be 26 soon.
And that's ancient. Why don't you forget your appearance and play anyhow? Don't judge your audience before you give them a chance to be kind.
You look at me, and then tell me an audience won't shudder at the sight of me. Look. You see?
I see nothing to hide, Jeffrey.
Dr. Emmett told you to say that.
No, she didn't. I promise. And I think you should trust her. Give her just a little more time.
Okay. I suppose I can give her 5 years more.
That's fair enough.
You know something else?
Not a bit. I'm awed only by the magnitude of what I don't know.
I wouldn't tell this to anyone. But Hannah really can't play violin.
No!
Yes!
Well, I'm tone deaf anyhow.
Well, you know something? Sometimes I wish I were.
Well, you're a sweet boy to pretend.
Poor Hannah. Can't play, yet she does. Now, I actually can, but I won't. Isn't that funny to you?
Not a bit.
Miss Savage, there's a rat in the hall. Quick, climb on a chair. It's a rat as big as a mouse.
Mary, what am I going to do with you? You put me right off my coffee. You know there's no rat in the hole.
But Miss Savage doesn't know that, and she's bored here. I intend to make her life exciting.
Well, thank you, Fairy. I just aged 50 years. That puts me well over the 100 mark.
Then we must have a birthday party. I'll make the candles.
You'll sit down quietly and drink your coffee.
Oh dear, I ate too much again.
You shouldn't exercise right after your meal, Hannah.
But if my weight is uncomfortable, my conscience won't needle me. Are you sure there have been no calls or letters from me today?
Positive.
Well, is there any way to send for the newspaper?
Well, I'll ask for a newspaper if you serve the coffee.
Gladly.
Here you are, Bingo.
Oh, Florence hasn't been served yet.
Don't stand on manners, Jeff. Miss Willie knows just how you like your coffee. I'll get my own.
Very well, thank you.
You're annoyed.
You single me out for attention, Miss Willie. It's unfair, and it makes me uncomfortable.
I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm just so tired tonight. I'll try to remember.
It's okay, I forget too.
Mirror, mirror on the wall. Who's the best dressed of them all? Fairy who?
Cream in your coffee, Fairy.
Please, do you think this dress does anything for me? I made it myself.
It's a sheer delight. Sugar?
5. I didn't have time to sew it together, so I had to put it together with pins.
Hannah?
No, thank you.
Would you like to know an improvement to make that exercise more enjoyable?
An enjoyable way of losing weight has yet to be invented.
Well, I know of an improvement. All you need is a deck of cards.
I went to a fortune teller when I was 14. Everything he told me turned out wrong. I never believed in cards after that.
Farther than the air.
Very.
Why?
To lose weight. Now, all you have to do is bend over and pick them up, one by one.
Oh, I like that! It's tidy!
I learned it in a beauty course.
You know, it'd be much easier if a woman could pick them up sideways. She was made all wrong. Her stomach should be in the back. It gets in the way when she bends. And when she kneels, her legs buckle out in front of her instead of folding neatly behind her. And why should her nose be in the front? It only gets in the way when she kisses.
Oh, you're so right.
I guess God was in a hurry.
Well, Hannah, what are we doing now?
We're losing weight.
Well, will you postpone it for a little bit? Would you all go upstairs to the study for a moment? I'd like to talk to Mrs. Savage. Florence, you can take the coffee with you.
Oh, I do hate having coffee upstairs. It's so middle class. Where's John Thomas?
I think you left him up on the phonograph, Florence.
Oh, yes. He adores the classics.
Upstairs, downstairs, till I think I'll scream. May I stay, Dr. Emmett?
No, you may not, Fairy.
Ugh.
Miss Willie says you seem anxious to see tonight's papers. Why?
Have it.
Well, here they are. It will undoubtedly please you to know you've caused considerable trouble yet again.
Have I? Why, Titus on the front page. Senator caught in White House hothouse.
I've just been talking to him. He's exceedingly angry.
Imagine him digging up all those petunias. What will everyone think?
As a result of this, your position here has deteriorated considerably.
And my disposition has blossomed enormously. Anything about Samuel?
Oh yes, here's the Boston Post.
Why, all those chimneys on top of him. You know, for some it takes a ton of bricks.
What do you hope to gain, Mrs. Savage?
Better terms.
For your freedom?
For my memorial.
Children believe that the money can be put to better use. Here's Lilybell.
What an awful picture of Lilybell. This would frighten even Fairy.
According to this, she resisted arrest.
As I see, female vandal caught inside museum. Berserk heiress fights police. They really are fools now, aren't they?
What do you hope? Like I said, what do you hope to gain, Mrs. Savage?
Better terms for the memorial.
Your children believe that money can be put to better use.
Of course, their own. Why, Lilybell settled over $1 million on her 6 divorces, and Samuel and Titus just as much to secure jobs to which they had no right. Is that a better cause?
They consider your memorial most unorthodox, Mrs. Savage.
That's absurd. There are plenty of charities for desperate people, and no charities for desperate people and need to be foolish. Why, I don't... It's based off my own life. If Hannah had gotten a violin when she wanted one, she wouldn't need one now.
It's quite possible.
I want my husband to be remembered with warmth and gratitude for a few foolish dreams that came true. I will not give up my memorial to him.
I'd like to discuss this with you further, but at the moment, you have visitors waiting. You may come in now, Senator. I'll be just outside if you need me.
My headache's gone.
How dare you make a fool of me? How dare you?
You tried to kill me. You knew that chimney would fall on me if I started pulling bricks out, didn't you?
We're not a very bright family, are we?
You must be proud indeed to see the name of Savage come up for ridicule again.
Did you dig, Titus?
8 FBI men jumped me, pushed my head in the dirt, and thought I was planning a bomb.
Why didn't you tell the papers the truth? I did. Sleepwalking? Really?
You try to think of an excuse with 8 men on your chest.
She'd love the chance.
Sergeant Jane, the senator's mother, Miss Ethel P. Savage, was recently committed for irresponsible actions. Democratic leaders are quick to point out this might explain the career of strange behavior from the Congress in Congress. Do you realize what this does to me politically?
Makes you a mort canon. Dead duck. French, remember?
I'll never survive it.
They treated me like a common criminal. I was fingerprinted.
I meant to ask you, what was in the stuffed porpoise?
Do you know what the papers call us now?
The mad savages.
How do you like it?
What happened to those bonds?
What happened to your dignity?
Where is my money?
Where is your self-respect?
Can I just ask you what you intend to do now?
If you're willing to see things my way,
We are willing to compromise.
compromise is the right word. If you're looking to think at my terms.
We will consider effecting your release in the custody of someone else for a short period of time. It'll look better on us.
And I'd be willing to give her complete freedom if she'd just give up acting and lead a dignified life.
Freedom, as Titus can tell you, is the right to make the wrong choice.
What would we get?
That's what I like you, Titus. No nonsense. You will each be given a reasonable yearly allowance.
How reasonable.
I shall be generous, but the majority will go to the memorial.
That's completely mad.
So we might have the commitment revoked, only for you to play another trick on us? Then where would we be?
Where are you now?
Get it over with, Titus.
Very well. Samuel, let's write a retraction.
I'm tired of having all my decisions reversed.
When I'm released, I'll keep my promise. Don't have me followed.
Samuel, wait a minute.
What is it?
I think I found it on the cover of this medical journal.
Oh, what are you talking about?
A solution to our compromise, but first I have to talk to Dr. Emmett.
Aren't you going to sign it, Lilybell?
Titus, don't sign anything until I get back.
What could she have read?
God knows.
Something to trick you. If you listen to her again, you'll end up without a cent.
What am I supposed to do then?
Just finish it. Lilybell's gotten us into trouble enough.
And be quick. All we need is your signature.
How many teachers are you
3.
2.
It doesn't look right.
Give me that. All it needs to say is that the commitment was ill-advised and to request a release. Will that satisfy you?
It will when you sign it.
Sign it, Samuel.
What are you doing?
We're signing the letter. Now come sign it.
It isn't necessary.
You'll regret this.
You have no right to act without consulting us.
Oh, do be quiet. Read that.
Read what?
The article on sodium pentothal. Perhaps I'd better let Dr. Emmett explain. Oh, doctor, will you tell them what sodium pentothal does?
Well, it's generally used in cases of shock. It releases tension, removes the patient's inhibitions, and makes them receptive to suggestion.
It's called the truth drug.
That's not quite accurate, however,
But under its influence, the patient answers truthfully. Isn't that so?
if they answer at all.
Now do you understand? Did you hear about that?
Yes, just a moment.
Can you administer this drug to my mother at once?
Haven't I any rights at all?
Dr. Emmett, may I say something? Surely you're not going to listen to these people. It's a flagrant misuse of science.
Dr. Emmett, I order you to administer this to my mother at once.
Mrs. Savage, if I refuse, your guardians are quite within their legal rights to remove you from my authority. I'm confident they'll find the means of subjecting you to sodium pentothal elsewhere.
Then let someone else be responsible.
$10 million hidden from use does no one any good, least of all you. It remains an ever-present symptom of psychotic thinking. This is your chance to prove that you're capable of making a rational decision. An intelligent mind recognizes defeat.
Well, let it be known that I wasn't forced to my needs by science. I'll tell you where the bonds are. They are...
Wait! We've come to the rescue, Miss Savage!
It's not too late. We'll stand by you, Mrs. Savage.
We just happen to be listening. And shame on you, and you, and
you.
Dr. Emmett, who are these people?
These are my friends.
We want to protest, Doctor.
Who gives you the right to protest, sir? This doesn't concern you.
I love you all for wanting to help me, but Dr. Emmett doesn't have much of a choice, as you must have heard.
What will you do, Mrs. Savage?
I'll tell them where the bonds are.
I think you've made the right decision, Mrs. Savage.
Well, are you going to tell us?
I'm going to show you. We are going to show you.
oh, you harlot!
Here is your treasure.
My God, she had the wicker the whole time!
Light, what happened to the light? Titus, strike a match.
I haven't got a
Just a
match!
moment, I'll turn the lights back on.
Hey, who is this?
It's me! Let go of me!
Someone turn those lights on! Do you hear me? Who turned those lights on?
One of our patients, Miss Patty.
Where's Lilybell?
She's disappeared.
My gracious! How did you get down there?
Somebody pushed me!
It wasn't me. I wasn't near enough.
The bonds are gone.
Gone!
What did you do with them?
I laid them on the table. You saw me yourself.
Why aren't they still there?
Excuse me, Senator. I'd say Mrs. Patty probably has them. Seems obvious to me she took them when the lights went off and ran.
Miss Woolley, get Miss Patty. Notify all the guards to stop her before she destroys those bonds.
I can't bear it. I simply can't bear it. I'm going to pieces. This will calm you. Would you like to try it?
Darling Mrs. Patty. Come on, girls. Let's go for a walk.
madhouse.
Yes, Miss Wilhelmina? Good, good, good. Well, all the wards have been locked up, the staff is alerted, and Miss Willie is searching the basement now.
But did she find that woman?
Not yet.
What in Lord's name was that good all about?
We're taking every possible precaution, Senator.
That maniac has $10 million worth of negotiable bonds. If they're not found, they can't be replaced.
What will she do with them, Doctor?
She'll probably eat them.
I'm not sure, but I know we'll find them. It may take some time, though.
Years, probably.
They were right in front of us, within our grasp. Why didn't you stop her?
Because I totally knew the lights were going out.
It's quite possible Mrs. Patty didn't take them at all.
Of course she did. No one else could have taken them.
You could have,
Lily Bell was 10 feet away from the table.
but she's mighty quick when it comes to money. Personally, I think she took the bonds and shoved them down her front. Heaven knows there's room. Why don't you search her?
You didn't take them. Did you, Lily Bell?
Can't you see she's trying to make us suspect each other?
Look, someone had to have taken them. What about that woman over there? She was closest when the lights went out.
She was right beside the table.
Well, what do you got to say for yourself, miss?
I didn't take them. I don't like bonds.
The Queen of Space! Someone is going to die!
Must we have these people in here, Doctor?
Please, I would like all of these people out here at once. Wait, no, we should have everyone remain here. Do we have that woman searched?
Everyone off with their clothes!
My glasses, too.
Very, just a moment. Mrs. Savage, please don't make this any more difficult than you already have.
And for heaven's sake, do something about this woman tossing cards around. My nerves are already on edge.
Hannah, don't.
Don't do this! Don't do that! Don't do this! Don't do that! I heard that you have a lovely tiara. Did you sleep in it?
Oh, sit down, you unattractive creature. I've had quite enough.
I don't like you.
Fairy, will you please sit down and be quiet while we wait?
Very well.
Fairy!
Excuse me, I'm upset.
Well, Miss Patty, you have the entire staff searching for you.
Stop her! Don't let her get away!
No, Miss Patty, I think you better join us. We'd like to talk to you.
Finally, we'll hear her talk. Well, madam, hand them over.
You better let me question her, Senator. She's not going to answer you.
Oh, yes, she will.
Oh, no, she won't.
We'll just see about this. Well, madam, what do you got to say for yourself?
I hate everything in the world, but most of all, I hate revolving doors, cuspidors, flying spots, fleas, bumblebees, prickly heat, bats, gnats, beetles, moths, ants, worms, germs, psychogerms, and chickens.
What is she talking about?
Weren't you listening?
I'm sorry.
Fairy!
Madam, did you hear what I just asked you?
There's no need to yell, Senator. She hears you well enough, but she's not going to answer you. She hasn't answered anyone in 20 years.
Well, but don't try any tricks on me.
Don't test her, Titus. She carries a knife.
Please, Mrs. Savage. She doesn't carry a knife. She's hostile but quite harmless. Now, will you be kind enough to yield the floor for me, Senator?
Very well, but I want to hear her talk.
So do we all.
Now, Miss Patty, this is important. I want you to nod yes or no to the questions I ask you. Did you take the bonds from the table a few minutes ago?
She did. And she didn't.
Oh, this is exciting. I wish we could open a door and have a body fall out.
Mrs. Patty, look at me. Do you remember turning the lights out a few minutes ago? Yes, you do. And do you remember the little bundle of papers on the table? Try to remember. Think.
Dr. Emmett, I found them.
Oh, give them to me.
But Senator,
I'll take charge of these.
Oh, look! The radio tubes!
Dad, you found the bonds.
I said nothing of the sort.
This restores my faith in witchcraft.
Where did you find them, Miss Willie?
In the basement, and the hot air ducts leading up to Fairy's room.
I told you I was cold.
completely responsible for this entire fiasco, Doctor.
And just what do you suggest that I do, Senator?
Search that woman. She might have them hidden on her person.
I'm afraid that's going to present a problem.
Well, then let's concentrate on making her talk while we search everyone else.
Very well. Will you take Miss Savage to her room and search her, please?
No. Take me. I'm youngest and I dress quickest. Unless you want to dress straws, Miss Savage.
Oh no, you go ahead. I don't want to miss anything.
Thank you.
Would you like to come with me, Fairy?
Yes, please. Did you know that I once played Lady Godiva in the Elks pageant? It was quite fun.
Wouldn't you like to save us a lot of trouble, Mrs. Patty?
Don't you have some sort of threat you resort to here?
I don't threaten my patients. Mrs. Patty, look at me.
The truth drug.
Yes, the truth drug. We'll use that in order to talk.
I'm afraid that's out of the question. We'd have to have her guardian's consent.
Well, who's regarding it?
Her husband?
Well, we'll get him on the phone. Where is he?
Japan.
Well, in his absence, do you have any authority to act?
We have no proof that she took them yet.
I still think Lily Bell's your girl.
Will you stop saying that?
Dr. Emmett,
Yes, Jeff?
since Mrs. Savage can't have her bonds anyhow, I think I can help you.
Yes?
Mrs. Patty didn't take them.
How do you know?
Because I took them.
He's the thief! I knew you tricked all along.
I've searched Fairy, Doctor. She doesn't have them.
Speak up!
I can't. I threw them out the window.
Go outside quickly, Titus. I'll watch from the window.
Stop! Parcheesi, the royal game of India!
But you couldn't have thrown them out the window, Jeff. The window's closed.
Oh,
What do you mean by misleading us?
Let go of me, you stupid ox!
He said he hid the bonds.
Well, he didn't. I happen to know that he didn't.
And just how do you happen to know that?
That's none of your business.
How do you know, Miss Woolley?
Because I had my arms around Jeff when the lights went out. I wanted to protect him from being hurt in all the confusion.
Thank you, Miss Woolley.
but she didn't. I took them, no one else.
Miss Savage, Dr. Emmett, something awful's happening! There's a fire upstairs!
Harry, you mustn't. We've company.
But you have to believe me! There's a fire upstairs with flames this high!
Mary, will you sit down quietly, please?
But Dr. Emmett, there's a fire upstairs!
Where?
In the bathtub!
Mary, sit down.
I can't! I have pins in me!
Jeff, if you did take the bonds, can you tell me where you put them?
I told you, he couldn't have taken them.
Of course he couldn't. If anyone should know that, I should.
Now I suppose you took them?
I confess everything.
There's a fire upstairs!
There's a conspiracy down here.
Where are they, Florence?
I won't tell you.
These people are trying to deceive us.
I have committed this theft with the full knowledge of the stigma involved.
I know a fire when I say one!
Someone better search her.
Read, little man.
Miss Woolley, will you take Florence to her room and search her carefully?
Come along, Florence.
I'll never tell Mrs. Savage, even if they put me in solitary confinement, cut off all my hair.
It's a waste of time to search, dear Florence.
Oh, no, I suppose you took them?
No, but I know who did.
Who did, Hannah?
It wasn't Mrs. Patty.
Then who was it?
It wasn't Florence either.
I don't want to know who it wasn't. I want to know who wasn't.
Is that good grammar? If you ask a Mohammedan what God is, he'll proceed to recite all the things he isn't. It's easier than saying what he is. And one thing he isn't on your side.
Hannah, if you know who took them, will you please tell us?
Well, I don't know who took them, but I know it was a woman, and I know it wasn't Mrs. Patty.
How do you know?
Because a woman pushed me away to get them when the lights went off.
How do you know it was a woman?
Really, Titus?
How do you know it wasn't Mrs. Patty?
Mrs. Patty doesn't wear perfume. Lily Bell bathes in it.
I was nowhere near the table.
Could you identify the scent?
I think so.
Let the house burn!
I use gardenia. What do you use, Barry?
No name! I make my own.
Smell her hand.
Titus, I don't tolerate this. They're making fools of us for their own amusement.
Smell anything? Yes. What? Smoke.
High
I must be losing my mind. I think I smell smoke too.
Dr. Emmett, I found a fire in Miss Patty's bathtub.
I don't think I'll speak to anyone.
In the bathtub?
I'm afraid it's the bonds, or what's left of them.
Miss Patty, did you take the bonds to your room and set fire to them?
There's no way of telling what these are.
Senator, here's a piece of something that didn't burn. Can you tell me what this is?
This is the burnt end of a $500,000 bond.
Oh! Are you sure? Mrs. Savage, can you identify it?
Well, the treasure hunt's over. It's what's left of $10 million.
I should have told a lie. Then someone would have believed me.
I'm sorry, Carrie. I should have believed you anyhow. But there must be some way of having them replaced, right?
There isn't.
They can't be gone. They just can't.
You miserable, useless creature. Have you any idea what you just cost us?
Never mind, Mrs. Patty. Leave her alone. I've stood for as much bullying of my patients as I intend to. Now will you be kind enough to leave at once?
What about the burnt pieces? Isn't that worth anything?
Nothing.
Oh, I can't be poor. I don't know how.
Will they really tell? We'll survive. We always have. And don't forget, I'm still senator.
I never meant for things to end up like this, Bluebell. Believe me.
Take me home, Titus. Please.
Titus,
Yes,
what happens to me?
you have nothing to worry about. We would never allow you to be sent to a public institution.
We're savages.
Goodbye. We think about it, people we don't want to see again.
Oh. Mrs. Patty, please don't cry. I'm sure you hate tears too.
Maybe she thinks her tongue is cracked.
Did you think you could have changed them, Mrs. Savage?
No one changes people. People make changes one learns to accept. I hope to make them look like fools so they would look with kindness on the fools of good heart.
And who are the fools of good heart?
Of course, those who gamble on people, and those who doubt that position means privilege. And of course, the rebels with no fear of failure.
Makes very good sense.
And justifies me being here.
Would you like to leave?
They never let me leave.
They have nothing to say on the matter. No patient's commitment is final until I've made my decision. I see no reason in your remaining.
Then I'm free to go.
Well, I couldn't release you on my own authority at once, but let me get the state medical inspector on the phone. Then I'll let you know for sure.
I think I'll pack the things. We can always unpack later.
You hate us.
So, Barry, why do you say that?
Because you want to leave us.
But I have to.
Is someone waiting for you?
No.
Does someone need you?
No.
You can't leave. I haven't had time to get you a going away present. Stay here. I'm gonna go find something.
I'll see what I can find for you too, Mrs. Savage. Will you wait?
Oh, fun! Let's all go find Miss Savage a going away present. Come on, Florence.
I've got something. I just remembered.
I'll try to find something useless. I do have poor practical gifts.
There's nothing in my room you want, Mrs. Savage, but I do have something on me that I prize. My class ring. Inside it's engraved saying, "Let there be light." Something Mrs. Patty would hate.
Oh, no, I couldn't take the ring off your finger.
But I insist. It has no value as gold goes, but as blood goes, it's a statistical treasure. My heart has pumped blood through this ring every 2 minutes for the past 10 years. That adds up roughly to about 100,000 gallons of blood.
Oh, Hannah, it's too much. Not at all.
But I don't seem able to get it off.
It's all right. Never mind that. I do appreciate it. The sentiment and the statistics.
My finger has got too fat on each side of the ring.
Never mind. You've had it so long, it's become a part of you.
I am all out of breath. Feel my heart, Miss Savage.
Why, Fairy dear.
But I found something. I hope you didn't expect much, because then you won't be disappointed.
Won't be disappointed.
I had to wrap it in Kleenex, because that was all I could find. You can feel my heart too, Hannah.
They could do about 104 beats to midnight, I'd say.
Oh, it's lovely.
What is it?
It's a handkerchief.
It's a hand-picked napkin. Look, it says the cloisters on it. Wasn't that lucky?
Oh, Fairy found something first. What did she give you?
A hand-picked napkin.
Then it fits in perfectly with my present. It's practical after all. I hope you don't mind.
Oh, it's too much.
What is it?
A salt shaker.
With salt, too.
It's engraved. It says the cloisters on it.
Is it sterling?
Fairy dear, I wouldn't dream of giving Mrs. Savage anything that wasn't sterling.
goodbye. I don't like goodbyes.
Oh, you didn't expect us to say goodbye, did you? I didn't expect even a salt shaker. How do you do, Mrs. Savage? We have so looked forward to meeting you.
We've been waiting all day. Make you so bright at home, Miss Savage.
Oh, I almost forgot. John Thomas asked me to give you something from him. He was afraid you'd catch his measles if he delivered it himself. Come, Fairy. Let's pretend it's garden hour.
If you would excuse me, Miss Savage, I have to go for weeds. Take an umbrella. It's raining.
Well, Jeffrey, what did you bring?
It's just a book, but I hope you enjoyed it.
The Lifespan of the Ape. You know, I've never read it.
Well, I was lucky then, wasn't I?
I'm going to read it tonight. Oh, Mrs. Patty, we thought you'd forgotten about us.
What did you bring?
A genuine mother-of-pearl button. I'll sew it on right away.
Oh, I think it's intended to make an eye for the bear.
Oh, he's hated so much not having an eye. We both thank you.
I hate everything in the world. I hate everything in the world but... I hate everything in the world but you. I love you and I wish you wouldn't leave us.
She said she loved me. Well, aren't you amazed?
Why? We knew it all along.
But she said it.
She had to say it.
Well, Jeffrey, shall we go see what the others are up to? It's a lovely night and everybody's polite. Watch out and don't break your neck.
You have a good seat.
I think I have everything. Here's your $85 hat. I told you you'd want it again.
Thank you.
You know, all this time I think you've been wearing it backwards.
Indeed, I have. It's good to be straightened out once in a while.
Where did everyone go?
They all gave me their going away presents and refused to say goodbye.
Oh, I bet I can guess what they gave you.
No, you can't. Mrs. Patty gave me an eye with which to see myself, and Florence salt to take with what I see.
That's good. And Fairy?
The memory of loveliness.
You know, I'm afraid to most people Fairy wouldn't seem a lovely girl.
She wears her plainness with great beauty.
And Jeff?
The Book of Job.
Nothing from Hannah?
An appreciation for music I hadn't had before.
Well, I have something for you too.
No, behave yourself.
It isn't much.
My boys!
Except for one that I had to burn with the newspapers to make it look convincing.
Where did you get them?
I didn't get them from anywhere. I stole them when the lights went out.
Now, don't tell me you're a kleptomaniac.
It was too quick to think. The problem was that after I stole them, I toyed with the idea of keeping them.
That's a natural impulse. What stopped you?
What Jeff might think.
You must get out of here, Miss Willie. That's not good thinking.
But you know that Jeff is my husband, didn't you?
No, I didn't.
Well, he is. And I want to be here for him when he recovers. The reason why I didn't keep any of that money, pure selfishness. I want to do everything I can for him myself. Surely you understand that.
The only thing I don't understand is how I could have ever felt sorry for myself. Isn't there something about no fool and you know what?
Something. But I don't think it applies to you.
Did you tell anyone else about this?
I told Dr. Emmett.
Well, whether you want to or not, you're both going to hear from the memorial.
I talked to the medical examiner.
Yes.
The station wagon is outside and ready to take you wherever you want to go. Miss Willie, will you take her bag to the car?
Yes, Doctor.
I have a few papers for you to sign, then you're free to go.
I must be out of my mind. I don't think I want to go.
You mean you'd rather leave tomorrow?
I don't want to leave at all.
Why would you want to stay?
Suddenly I'm weary and I want to be relieved of a decision. I want to go to bed knowing that there's walls to guard my sleep.
But the peace you find here is like the moon reflected on a dark lake. Strike the surface and you destroy it. Is that the kind of peace you want?
I want what everyone wants, to want nothing. The people here have found contentment.
How do you know?
I have eyes to see.
So is Jeffrey, but he only sees what he wants to see, an excuse for not facing the future. Does Florence see that her child was taken from her? Does Fairy see what the mirror should tell her? No, they found refuge in an eggshell world where you don't belong. For you see yourself clearly, I'm sure.
Where do I belong?
In the world where you best serve. The impulse to live your life with courage was correct. Go ahead with your memorial, and don't be betrayed by the illusion of contentment. The door is open for you. Make your peace with loneliness.
Oh, good, you haven't left yet. I finally found something I can give you. Oh, no, Hannah, not your violin.
Oh no, you couldn't play it.
But I did write you a song that you can take with you wherever you go. Here is your song.